You would have a seat right over there. We'll let your dad sit right here. I appreciate you coming in. Start out with, I'm Officer Crawford. You've probably met me before. I don't know if I've ever stopped you or anything, but you've probably seen me.
I've seen you around.
Well, first of all, I'm going to start out reading you your rights. Okay. The door's unlocked. At any point you don't want to talk to me, you can get up and walk over here and we'll be done. Okay? You have the right to remain silent. Any statement you make can be used as evidence against you in court. You have the right to consult with a lawyer before answering any questions and the right to have your lawyer present during the questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you without cost to you prior to questioning if you so desire. If you wish to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. Okay? You understand all that? It says right here, it says, I have read or have read to me my constitutional rights and I fully understand them. If you understand them, I want you to sign right there and the date and the time. It's the 21st. Okay. Next paragraph is if you want to talk to me. I hereby waive my rights and I'm willing to talk to you now. No promises or threats have been made to me and no pressure or force of any kind has been used against me. I've voluntarily waived my rights. This is if you want to talk to me.
Instead of having a lawyer present?
Yeah.
Well, Wayne.
Because, yeah, I've seen... Yeah, I'd probably feel better with a lawyer.
Well, we ain't got one. We know you're innocent, so...
Yeah.
It's your option. I'm not going to influence you in any way.
Yeah.
So, whatever you decide, that's what you want to do.
Should we see about getting a lawyer?
I ain't got the money, buddy.
I'm just going to answer questions.
I mean, at any point you don't want to answer or you're done, you just say I'm done and we end. Well, I told you yesterday on the phone, the young lady's come up here and accused you of raping her. Okay. I'm just needing to get some information from you or hear your side of it or whatever you want to say to me.
I don't know why, because, I mean, I dated her, because it all started out, I was over visiting with my brother over at the Blue House, and her and her mom were out there and we were talking. Well, finally one day I get a phone call. It's like, hey, Wayne, you want to help out my neighbor? I was like, yeah, sure. And I went over to talk to the neighbor and had to get up early, like on a Saturday or something like that, and go out to Springdale and help them with the car, help them find a car. And I went and test drove cars for them, helped them out. I had to drive one of them back from Springdale. And we drove, me and Kelsey rode in the car together and come back from Springdale, and her mom was like right behind us the entire time. So, I mean, she called me, she's like, hey, pull over to the gas station, car's overheating. We pulled over and, we sat there for a while, threw in some oil and got a few drinks, and we took off down the road and we came back to town. And as soon as we got back, I started heading towards my car, and they're like, hey, if you want to come back and hang out and watch the movie sometime, come on over. I was like, all right. So I just went home and went to sleep for a while because I got like 2 hours of sleep the night before. I was dead tired. So, I started going over there. Me and Kelsey started dating. And then all of a sudden, her mom's like, hey, I don't want you seeing my daughter anymore. I was like, all right, no problem, and I left it at that. I'm just like, all right, cool. And I just left. And I was like, all right. And I just kept, just keeping to myself, keeping to my friends. Then finally one day, Kelsey texts me. I'm like, okay, cool, that's cool. Hey, what's up, And, we sat there and texted every now and again. She'd call me. And I don't know, then next thing I know is freaking, I was working, I was out on a smoke break, and she came over to my job, and she saw me outside, and she came out over to me. And she was all hugging up on me, and I was like, oh, hold up. What about, I was like, hey, dude, your mom said no contact, This ain't supposed to be happening, don't. And then I guess her mom saw her on me, and freaking, her mom left and came back later with a 12 gauge in her car.
Yeah.
And was giving me terroristic threatenings, saying that I need to stay away from her daughter, which I have been, and if I don't stay away from her daughter, that you ain't got to worry about nobody finding my DNA because she's going to blow my shit up. And that's exactly what she said. Okay. And I was like, okay. And I just walked back in. I was like, all right. And I sat there trying to just fathom what happened. I was like, wow, she had a freaking shotgun in the car, and I could have gotten shot at work. Mm-hmm. My first night of work, and I could have gotten shot at work because of her going off her rocker. And I was like, man, ever since then I deleted her number, haven't even tried any contact or nothing. Mm-hmm. Everything's been just dead.
You got to tell that you called Dishram.
I called after a while. After a little while of sitting there trying to figure out what just happened, I called for Officer Pearson, but they sent Dishram because Dishram was on duty, and he came up, and I filled out a statement, and a coworker of mine filled out a statement.
I read the statement.
Yeah, and then he said, "We'll keep in touch." And
so just to let you know on that part, there's a affidavit down here at for the prosecutor right now to arrest her on that. Okay.
And then,
cool. Because it's kind of scary. Because I'm afraid to walk down the street or even ride my bicycle anymore. Because every now and then I'm looking over my shoulder because I'm still spooked. She had a shotgun in the car and was threatening me. I'm scared. I'm not even joking. I'm worried.
Now tell him what happened after Dishram went back over to their house.
After Dishram went over to their house, and after I started, I'm pressing charges, next thing I know is this rape charge is being thrown towards me. And I'm like...
But the whole night, Kelsey kept calling you.
Yeah, Kelsey called me like 3 times, and I was like...
4.
I didn't keep count.
She kept calling you to drop charges,
she was trying to get me to drop charges.
And you said, all I'm going
to do is get a restraining order. And then I was like, because I wasn't going to tell her,
Mr. Parker, can I talk to you a second real quick, sir? I had something I wanted to talk to you about real quick, if you don't mind, sir.
Who are you?
Okay. Anyway, let me think here. At any point, you said you dated Kelsey.
Yeah, for like a week.
Okay.
Like a week, if that.
At any point, did you sleep with her?
No.
Okay.
No, because I have way too much respect for her dad, because my brother worked with her dad, and so I was like, alright, he trusted me enough to drive his vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go and break some